Everything you
Yeah.
can. Bro. Right, we're live.
Welcome everyone to the podcast.
Welcome everybody to the podcast. What a way to open. What a way to open. I'm gonna put a "We are live" on
Cool.
the.
Yeah, another Thursday evening, and if you couldn't tell by the title of the podcast today, we're going to be talking about a multiple array of topics, exercises that work. What else are we talking about? GLP-1's, pros and cons, overtraining, and what was the last thing, my friend? What was the last thing?
So we're going to be talking about overtraining, lifts that actually work and change your physique, what we actually eat in a day, because I feel like it's interesting for people to see that, what separates people who actually progress and thrive from the ones who plateau, why blood work matters, and everything you need to know about GLP-1s, the positives and negatives. So
Yes, sir.
I thought I'd start this podcast off with a little bit of a funny one.
Hit me then.
Would you like me to entertain?
I'd love you to entertain. I always love you to
Okay, I feel like this will start us off on a little bit of a high note, and then we can get into the more serious stuff. So as you can see, okay, God, I've got to find it now. Jake. This is hard.
Oh dear, I can't even provide any context because I have no idea what we're going to be talking about.
Well, that's part of the surprise.
Oh, okay.
So you see this video. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a lady exercising. Yes. Now, this video has got 13,300 views. Now, to start with, okay, number one, mobility-wise, pretty insane. I wouldn't say that's a great squat by any regards, but the comment section on Instagram is great. And
it truly is.
I'm going to read a few things, just a few of the comments. Okay. 10 reps of diddly squats. She's stretching and working out at the same time.
Oh, God.
Is it your first day of gravity?
Shouldn't trust it. Shouldn't trust the gravity.
It's hard to explain, but I think you're working out in third person. This is how I imagine the Pixar lamp practices.
That's a good one.
We're just going to get some of the absolute bangers. Give me 5 sets of Cotton Eye Joes. I mean, you're moving a bit too fast, but other than that, the form is terrible. And to finish up, the last two. The best advice I can give you is like, do a little more, but like a lot less at the same time.
Same, but different.
I don't know how you're doing it, but you seem to be working out your bones and not your muscles.
Yeah, those poor joints, man.
Incredible. And that's why we love the comment section of Instagram. Sometimes they release some bangers. She is a comedian, by the way. She put it out there, so
okay, that's good.
Incredible.
Do you know what really frustrates me though is that like in a gym like that, right? I don't know if you go to other gyms and like all it would take really is to someone just to walk around and be like, stop,
slow that down,
do this, do it like this.
Let's just take it not 150 miles per hour.
Literally, and yeah.
Right, let's get stuck into it then. Yeah,
let's do it.
Right.
Yes. What is the first topic that we're going to be talking about today?
Overtraining,
my friend.
Overtraining, bro. Yeah, we need to talk about that one because this is a conversation I've had with multiple people inside of the gym, especially this week, because everybody has the idea, and this is something that I really want to kind of make as simplistic as possible. We've spoke about this multiple times. Jake loves the Rocky movies. It's a massive source of inspiration for him. But for everybody, when we train, we like the Rocky montage scene. Jake likes the Rocky montage scene, that motivational bit where he's grinding away, and the outcome is Rocky wins the fight. And everybody has this view. Most people have this view. More is better because more is in most things in life better in general. If you want to get a promotion at work, you work harder. If you want a better outcome with your relationship, you work on it more. It's all about volume. when it comes to the gym, anatomy and physiology, it works directly in the opposite way. You need to do enough to stimulate, not annihilate. And this is something that people need to. What really would have benefited me when I first started lifting is understanding that fatigue doesn't just happen. Fatigue builds over time. So it's not something that you do one session, now you're fatigued and you're out and out. It's every single session you choose to push past where you need to be to stimulate growth and stimulate strength. You add into this cup of fatigue, and eventually it's going to fill up and it's going to spill over. And when fatigue gets to a certain point, you're now so tired that you're coming into the gym, you're not motivated. Motivation drops, number one. That is a big thing. You just won't want to be here. It's one of the biggest signs of overtraining is that all of a sudden that passion for the gym is just gone. Number two, you will lift weights at 80% of what you can normally lift, and either you'll get hurt or you just can't lift any heavier. So if you have a plan, if you have weight targets on your plan, you need to make sure you hit those weight targets, come in and do what you need to do and leave. Period. That's it. Rest means rest. It doesn't mean get an additional session in. Your cardio amount that you should be doing is there for a reason. If you overdo it or work too hard, if you turn your walk into a run, you're adding to that cup of fatigue. And progression shouldn't be 10 kilo PBs per session. It should be an additional rep or a 2.5 kilo PB. And if that 2.5 kilo PB, okay, the odd time here and there, absolutely chuck a 5 on or a 10 on if you feel like you really got it, but it shouldn't be every week. And a 2.5 kilo PB, if you get a personal best on something, a tiny little weight increase, and you still feel like you've got more, sometimes it's better to just leave that in the bag and save it for the next session. Because again, you don't want to push to that nth degree and gather that fatigue in that cup. Because as soon as it overflows, everything goes downhill. And I cannot tell you how much progress I made when I realized that and actually dedicated as much effort on my rest days to resting as I do to my training on my training days. I think it's easy for people to be motivated in the gym to go hard, but it's harder for them to switch off, those people. And you need to learn to switch off and understanding that being lazy is good in those days.
Obviously, we know sort of looking from an outside perspective, we can see when someone's sort of overtrained. But for the individual themselves, like, what would you say were like the 3 key markers that you should look for to then be like, look, maybe I'm just going a bit too far?
Injuries just crop up all the time. And it'll be from doing random stuff. You know, like you'll literally pick up a bag and all of a sudden your elbow will go. You go, oh, fucking hell, what the hell? And I'm not saying one-off. Like we can always pick up a bag wrong and pull a muscle. But we're talking frequent. Like, you know, you're getting up in the morning, now your knees hurt. And then you go and pick up a bag and now your elbows hurt. And now your shoulder hurts. And all of a sudden you do an exercise and you cramp on one pec, for example. Those things are like your body's telling you something. Back off on the volume. Secondly, mood. Your mood becomes quite bitter and you get very tired very easy. And your tolerance gets very low for shit.
Yeah.
And number 3, your actual sleep quality goes down. And obviously, going back to the first one, your performance, huge one. But sleep quality is one that people don't look for. Like you intermittently wake up throughout the night because your central nervous system is so ramped up that it doesn't know whether it's in fight or flight or not. So you'll literally be asleep and you'll go, huh. And I've had it before when I was doing CrossFit years ago, where I was training to the nth degree and I was hot at nighttime, like I'd worked out. I was like sweating in bed going, what the hell's going on? And my legs were red all the time. Maddie was like, you are so like hot. And it's like this thermogenesis is going on because your body's like, oh, okay, he might work out. So I'm going to make him hot so he sweats so we can just cool ourselves down intermittently. And if he's going to work out, we want to keep him cool because that's ultimately your body wants to stay at a temperature to survive. And it doesn't know when to do that to work out and when not to. So you get all these signals that a lot of people just put down to, it's all right. And it's like, it's not all right. Your body's trying to tell you something. If you catch on to it early and you back off, you'll be able to progress consistently. But if you don't, then it's downhill from here.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a point worth getting across to people from the get-go. They're like, look, eventually we're going to hit a point where you might be feeling tired. And there's for people that are going through like a normal transformation, like there's an element of like, look, we can sort of like back off here. I feel like the only difference here, and I might be wrong in saying that, but like for the more sort of competitive athletes, so like for guys doing prep, for example, bodybuilding, we do get to a point where we are tired. But I feel like because of the extreme of the sport, it's something that we just have to like get on with. But then again, that's like quite an extreme case. So I think for anyone that's like starting the gym or is maybe in their journey now and they're like, I feel fucked. Like it's being open minded to the fact that like maybe you are just pushing too hard for the time being. You need to like back off and like dial it down. And think of the benefit that's going to give you. Like you're not going to miss out on gains and progress because you are sort of taking a back pedal. You're actually going to make more progress because you're allowing your body to almost like re-energize itself and just get ready for more progress. I'm trying to find the word to use, but
also as well, and this is something that people don't think about, muscle is built when you're resting. Muscle is built when you're resting. Fat is reduced while you're resting. It's not done in the gym. And I think a lot of people see it as like calories in versus calories out in that regards. But in reality, yes, calories in versus calories out definitely matters. 100%. I'm not saying it doesn't. It's probably the most important thing. But the actual process of your body reducing and adjusting your body weight to the amount of calories you're now consuming will happen while you're asleep and while you're sat on the sofa. The stimulus provided needs to be in the gym, but the outcome happens when you're chilling. So ultimately, if you're always working, your body's got this strong stimulus to change. You're never giving it that opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And even more performance athletes, even more, holy hell, you need to rest. And I always use the analogy of like Usain Bolt uploaded his workout program once, and someone asked him what he did, and he did an interview, and he uploaded it. The whatever website uploaded it. This is back in the day, and it was a 4-day-a-week split to be the best possible 100-meter runner you could be in the world. Yeah, 4 days a week. That was it. And I remember dealing with someone at the time, and they were like, I've been in every day this week. I'm like, why have you been in every day this week? They're like, well, I'm just, I'm an animal for it. I want results. By doing that, you were telling me you were better than the world's best 100-meter sprinter. Are you telling me you're better than the Olympic gold medalist currently? Well, no, I'm not. Okay, well, cool. Then why are we acting as if we are? Like we know something that they don't. They are the best at their sport. They are the best performance you could possibly be. And you're saying that they don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Leave it as that. 4 days is fine. And rest. And the people that do take it seriously progress every single week. And they stay injury free. I've had more results. I've had better results with people doing 4 or 5 days a week than I have with people doing 6 or 7 by a mile.
Yeah, 100%. And I've got coach client at the moment doing like their strength program, and like he'll always say to me like, "We're only training 3 days this week." It's like, yeah, because you've just had 3 weeks of pushing to like the nth degree. So yeah, of course we do. Otherwise, you'll just be fried and you'll be fucked. And even the sessions that you do in a deload doesn't necessarily have to be like shorter, less input. It's just kind of like more focus, really, more quality, just making sure that your form's correct. And yeah, you might not be lifting as much, but like, you're still moving your body at the end of the day. So don't see it as a negative. You're not going to regress. And I liked the quote they used as well, like to stimulate and not annihilate. Like that's a very smart quote, which again, a lot of people need to be educated on. Because I feel like there's an ego about some people. They're like, like you mentioned, like, if I'm not in here every single day, training my ass off, giving it 110% all the time, then I'm not going to get where I want to be. And it's like, you aren't going to get where you want to be because you're doing that.
Yeah, sometimes people could be their own worst enemy, bro. 100%.
Yeah, and also just listening to your body as well. Like a lot of people are very quick to be like, "No, I'm fine. I'll be all right." Whereas like if your body's like telling you you're fucked, then you need to rest.
Yeah, and that, like for me, bro, as well. It's like you know how I am with training. Yeah? I'm so like anal with it. I train hard, and I was at one point so obsessed. I go every day.
Yeah.
And with a lot of clients, they go, well, it's easy for you because you look the way that you do. Like, and I think it's easy for people to look at us and go, well, yeah, but you're young or you've got this genetic, like, this thing that's allowed you to be able to build muscle and all this sort of stuff. And it's like on less days. I've been there. We've both been there. We've been training every day, and oh my god, was I the most miserable person you've ever seen in your entire life, dude? I was so negative all the time, and I was fucking exhausted 24/7. So every gym session I was doing, I was on the chest press. I was like, oh my god, and, like half asleep, trying to be able to go for a personal best for the 7th time in a week. It's like it's not viable. And I've been there, and it did not net me a good physique. It literally netted me a worse physique. And I remember the first time I actually took a step back. I moved back home, and at the time, work was really mad. So I couldn't train 7 days a week. And I remember I was so fed up of making no progress that I actually was like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go out with the boys on the weekend. I'm just going to really almost just have a looser grip on my training. I'm going to go out and I'm going to have a few drinks. And I'd go out on a Saturday, right? And I'd normally be too hungover on a Sunday to be able to go to the gym. So I inherently forced myself to have 2 days rest. That is the most progress I ever made in a short period of time. Period. I remember going to my mates, and my mates were like, what are you doing? What are you, at the time I was natural, and they were like, what are you taking? And I'm like, honest to God, I'm just training less and having a little bit more relaxation time, to be honest. Like, my Sundays are me in bed. And I'm not saying go out on the weekends by any regards, because I could have made way more progress if I didn't. But that was what it took for me to rest. And I actually rested and progressed off the back of that. So it's about understanding that biology and anatomy does not work the same way as what does work with work in general. If you need to do an exam, for example, you want to revise more. Yeah, cool. The more revision you can do, the better. But even with that, there's a point of diminishing returns where you're just not absorbing information. So, but yeah, I feel like we've covered that. So I want to move on to the next one before we just talk about that for like an hour, because it's easily done.
Go for it.
So next. Jake, the lifts that actually change your physique versus the ones that waste your time. Give me your list. Give me one good, one bad.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go for my back. All right. This is again personal preference, because obviously training for a classic need a wide upper frame. For me, my back, I think one thing that's elevated my upper lat growth the most is probably like an assisted pull-up, something like that. Stuff that I really struggle with, as you know, from the start of the week, is any sort of hip hinge movement on my lower back. It is not very strong. So any sort of like
would you say that's not going to change your physique though?
What do you mean?
As in, like, in terms of the question, lifts that would change your physique and lifts that wouldn't. I would say hip hinges are right up there.
I'll rephrase the quantity of hip hinge movements that I do. I feel like for me, like 1 a week is fine for growth. I think we have deadlift and squats. That's 2, which is fine. Any more, then I'll have like really bad low back pain. And there was a point where we had like 4 on there, an RDL, and then there was like a row, and like I just had absolutely no connection to it whatsoever, because I was just in such bad lower back pain. So yeah, pull up for me, it's goated for my upper body. My upper back, definitely, 100%. I've seen like insane progress just off the back of putting that into my workout. Well, you putting that into my workout plan, 100%. So yeah, for me, my back. What about you?
I would say, number one, valid point, what you just said there. I find assisted pull-ups are very, very person dependent. So for you, we tried it and you were like, yeah, I feel that. I'm like, cool, you can add that in. Assisted pull-ups, if you're going for back development, some people overuse biceps.
Yeah, 100%. So I mean, bro, I'm on a band, I'm strapped up, I'm everything. I'm purely elbows.
Weightlifting belt on, knee sleeves on as well, just in case.
Yeah, bit of
fully equipped. Socks, like latex suit.
yeah, all of it. Slap on the back with chalk. Yeah, baby powder between the thighs.
Yeah, got you. Okay, so I would say a lift that works. I would actually go actively against and say a hip hinge movement. Yeah, though all of those hip hinge movements will add a fucking, if ladies you're looking for solid glutes, any hip hinge would be great. RDLs, glute drive, so that those things will give you the most payoff for the littlest amount of time, 100%. And guys, if you're looking to develop like overall like muscle tissue, just get strong in a deadlift, RDL, or a glute drive or whatever, because you will literally just put muscle off on everywhere. I would say, in terms of a wasted exercise, I wouldn't say there's one that is terrible, but I would say the science-based objective view here, the science-based lifting sort of crowd where you're adding straps onto straps onto straps into exercises, and you're trying to convert what is a good exercise into an even more optimal exercise is definitely really bad. When people do like the whole, I don't know, I'm gonna add 2 straps onto a lateral pull down bar so I can get here. And it's like, dude, you just use a different bar. And you're literally, well, the direction of the pull and this, that, and the other, you're like, dude, like we're talking 0.0005% difference. And those are percentages you don't have to worry about. So I would say anything like that, but most movements have a place and have a purpose. I think the biggest thing really is don't waste your time on ones that actively you do not sync well with. You want to be able to find a movement or movement patterns that you blend well with, that ultimately you can progress, because ultimately progression is the key, right? So for you, it's like we can't do many hip hinge movements. Your lower back will always cave in. So unless we do active lower back work to strengthen your lower back, then we can't do more hip hinge. So you're not going to be able to comfortably progress that. And if you did progress it, you're going to sacrifice across the board on all the other lifts that require your lower back for stabilization. So no, for you, there's no point. Whereas, for most people that do have a strong core engagement and strong lower back, okay, cool, hip hinges are great. So it's all really person dependent. And I suppose my bit of advice to everybody that's listening is, if there are any exercises in the gym that actively stop you progressing in other exercises and you just don't feel in the muscle or in any muscle for that matter, and you're just uncomfortable doing it, try and address it first. Have a look at your form. If you still can't gel with it, find another movement and then just progress that up instead. There's normally 2 to 3 to 6 to 10 exercises per muscle group that you can do. And for us, that's why we're here as coaches. If you're a coaching client of ours, then send us a video of your exercises, you doing a set, and the ones that you don't feel, just video. Liam, for example, a prime example, he sends me videos all the time of him doing exercises in Snap and Milkshake. And he's like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "Yeah, good," or "This needs to change," or whatever. If you send an exercise over and go, "I don't feel this anywhere and it just hurts my lower back," then we'll change it for you 100% if there's no form pointers that we can give.
On the flip side as well, understand that the ones that you connect well with, they don't need to change. You already connect well with them. You don't need to add like another 3 exercises on top. Just developing the ones that you're good at and get comfortable with. Yes, to some people it may come across as like quite boring because like the training doesn't change. But again, at the end of the day, you're still progressing in movements that you're working well with. Okay. Do you have to go up every week? No. But if you're getting a good stretch, if you're getting a good squeeze, if progress is sort of happening on a weekly basis, then it doesn't need to change. Just be comfortable with that. That's one thing as well. One thing that I definitely struggled with when I started the gym was like doing like 20 different things. And at the end of the session, I was just tired all over and just sort of fatigued all over because I tried everything and didn't actually break down the movement patterns. One bit of advice I'd give to people then.
Yeah, I vibe with that. It's great advice. Just try and find some movements you can consistently do for a long period of time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is that, guys. If you ever wonder, if you ever sat there going, "Oh, is this movement right for me?" then just message us. Yeah, you've got us via Instagram, you've got us via WhatsApp. You could grab us in the gym, just literally talk to us about it, and then we'll give you some advice on it. And even like now, you could pop in the chat. When I'm doing this exercise, I feel this. Just message us, talk to us, get active in the chat, yeah, because that's what we're here for. And I can see people are watching. I know you're watching. So get involved. Yeah, that's what these podcasts are for. Moving on, what we're actually eating today. I actually just wanted to share my plan, to be honest, because I'm going to listen.
Yeah, go for it.
It's just like legitimately pointless at this point, because it's just going to make no sense because people will just get lost. It's too much food on there, bro. Too much food on there.
I don't think I've ever actually asked you this. Obviously, I see you all the time in the office eating and stuff, but I don't think I've ever actually asked you what your macros and what your breakdown actually is.
Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you some insight. So obviously me being vegan.
Oh dear. Oh good Lord.
Yeah, starting off strong. No, I'm joking. I'm not vegan, guys, if you are new. Let me share it with you. This is my diet plan. Can you see it? feel like it's in a really weird spot.
Maybe swap you in the diet plan. There we are.
Well, I've just maximized the whole
diet
thing.
plan.
What it's just a diet plan. Can I drag that anywhere? Enable zoom and scroll. Oh god, I have no idea what's going on here. Sorry about this, guys. I really don't know how to be able to share that whole thing. I'm gonna full screen it. People can listen to us.
Man. Do it.
This is my diet plan. So yeah, quite a lot, man. This is everything I got to eat in a day, dude. So, 4,200 calories on a training day and 4,000 calories on a rest day.
Which for a guy your size is not a lot, is it? You'd expect to be on like 5, 6.
Yeah, I do. Weirdly, bro, like, to be fair, like, it does sort of edge up to that point near the end of like a gaining phase. But generally, this is kind of, I've got meal one here, which is eggs, beef mince, jasmine rice, blueberries, veggies. Turkey breast, jasmine rice, strawberries, coconut oil, veggies, highly branched cyclic dextrin, 50 grams, intra-workout. I tend to have that like in the form of like orange juice instead of this, to be honest, because I just prefer orange juice. For me personally, I always find it goes quite lumpy. Yeah, the carb powder. So,
bro, it doesn't mix well at all. Literally, you'd have to blend that shit to mix it properly.
Sure. Some people really vibe with it. Most people, actually, 90% of people vibe with it. Sometimes orange juice for most people is a bit too acidic. So, banana, Snacker Jacks, honey, turkey breast, more rice, blueberries, coconut oil, and veggies. As you can see, quite a varied diet, Jake.
I feel you on that one, mate. I really do.
When I messaged Cal, I was like, I need the most optimal diet that is just consistent. And he was like, cool, here you go.
Don't need variety. Just give me the macros.
Cal, I am the most boring guy you'll ever meet in your life. And then raspberries, and then cod, jasmine rice, strawberries, olive oil, and veggies. Yeah, man. So that is it. And then obviously got a non-training day, which is very similar, bar the intra-workout, post-workout. And that's it.
Nice.
So a lot of food, man. A lot of food.
Decent. And for the people out there that may be slightly concerned with the amount of food that's on this plan, please give people insight as to how long it actually takes for you to prep. Given the amount and the quantity of your meals, how long does it actually take you to prep?
Well, as in like to get all that food ready to
get all of that food ready for the day, how long would that take you?
45 minutes, maybe, max.
Yeah, so not even an hour of the day.
No, you just got to be smart with how you prep it, innit?
You got a rice cooker, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh, game changer. Yep.
Absolute game changer, man.
Guys, if you have jasmine rice, if you're one of my clients, you know that I put jasmine rice on your plan consistently, yeah, because it's such a good carbohydrate. It's so there was a food intolerance test done on jasmine rice, and they found that like the only people that had food intolerances to jasmine rice were like 0.0001% of the population, which is nuts because normally the average is 10%. So it's the most easily digestible carbohydrate you could possibly ever imagine. So,
and that's what separates it from the other sort of cereals, doesn't it? Just the ability to just get it in and get it out.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Should I get your plan up?
Do it. Yeah, I was literally about to say that. Yeah, get my plan up. Not very similar, but similar in the sense of boring. But just hits all the points really. Allows for growth. So you can't really
calories
complain.
are different.
Takes me roughly, I'd say, like 20 minutes to prep, maybe. Rice cooker and air fryer.
It take you 20 minutes?
Yeah, man.
Oh, man, you are like the Gordon Ramsay of bodybuilders.
Isn't it, mate? I'm solid. Just start swearing to myself in the kitchen.
Yeah, just really posh voice as well. Mother, I said fucking jasmine rice. cook it well. Stir it. Give it 3 shakes. This was a 4-shake rice batch.
Brings me raw turkey. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Get out now.
Just chuck it on the floor.
Slam it into her chest.
Yeah. Right, let me share this.
We love Gordon Ramsay.
Now. We do love a good bit Gordon Ramsay. Right, here we go. This is your plan. So Jake, you're on more calories than I am.
I feel it. I feel it.
Do you want to give people a talk through? A run through?
Yeah. So Oh, slightly blur. I'll do the best I can. I'll try and get it up on my phone. So yeah, pretty similar start as to how Lewis has his. So yeah, jasmine rice again, easy carb source in it. You got your lean proteins again in an improvement phase, but doing it the best way possible with lean protein sources. I think I'm actually leaner now and heavier than I was at the start of the plan, which is great. Averaging what, say like, I think for a
4,800
solid,
calories.
yeah, and then for like a solid, maybe how long we've been on since August, averaging
Yeah.
like around 1.5, 2 pounds of like growth per week, which is really good. So yeah, really basic choices. Like I said, it takes me absolutely zero time to prep. And I wouldn't say I've had like a disconnect from food because I'm still a bit of a foodie. Like cheat meals are cheat meals, okay? Off-plan meals, they sometimes they're a bit like whoa. But I've definitely sort of realized the benefits of meal prepping, Not necessarily is the food I'm eating enjoyable. Like I think we can both agree that sometimes it's a bit tedious, but at the end of the day, if we look the way that we do, then we can't really complain.
Yep.
So it's sort of seeing the benefits as opposed to like, oh, this meal isn't very enjoyable. It's like, no, it's not. But do you like the way you look? Yes. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So then eat it. So there's definitely been an element of that since we've been on plan, 100%. Like I said, the meal plan itself is vague. Like it's vague. People call it boring, but
The other thing I wanted to kind of get across to people as well, if you can take anything away from this, right? Because Jake's on more calories than I am. Yeah, so Jake's on 4,800 calories, 4,400 calories, training day and rest day. Neither of us are fat. So when you're getting your calories increased, and the biggest concern for most people is, am I going to gain body fat? Not if calories are increased in the right way. Yeah, and Jake didn't start on 4,800 calories. He started on 3,000 or 2,900 was your first initial body recomp set point. So, if you've had to go as low as 2,400 and now you're back to baseline and maintenance and you're thinking, oh no, I don't want to get fat in this off season, you won't. Yeah, if you're in a performance phase and calories are going up, the calories are going up because you have more muscle tissue now. You need to fuel that muscle tissue. If you have more muscle, you require more energy to provide to that muscle for it to work well. And therefore, it requires calories. Otherwise, if you can't give your body what it needs, it's never going to be able to progress. It's going to literally sit there and go, well, we don't have enough energy to provide any more muscle tissue for you. And you will stay here the whole time, which might seem fine for most people. From my experience of 12 years of being a PT and a coach, most people go like, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm like, cool. Okay. And at the start, I was like, brilliant. That's lovely. That's awesome. 4 weeks down the line, they're unmotivated and they've quit. Period. Because no one likes to just do the same shit day in, day out with the same result, right? People like to ultimately progress in some way, whether that be get slightly stronger, a little bit more muscle tissue, a little bit leaner. You've got to have some kind of focus to keep you dialed in on the process. Otherwise, you will just fall off. It is a matter of time. If Jake, you've seen me before, in the past, I've literally my sole focus is on my clients all the time. And in the past, I've gone, I'm never going to compete anymore. I even made an announcement on Instagram, like, I'm not competing anymore. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to focus on being a coach. And whilst that mindset has never shifted, at that time, I was actively unhealthier in myself. Like I did not look good. My training dropped down because I had no goal or direction for myself. And ultimately, that made me worse as a coach because I believe that one of my strongest points as a coach is that I lead from the front. So I'm never going to be someone that can go, I reckon you should push a bit harder. And people go, well, you don't push at all. So why would I listen to you? I'd always like to be the guy that stood there going, well, I push really hard. I'm really tired. I've had 2 hours of sleep and I'm still here. So you need to be here as well. And people go, well, if he's there, then I'll be there. So you got to lead from the front as a coach. You got to be able to say that you're doing, back up what you're saying with actual action.
Yeah, it's practicing what you preach at the end of the day, really, isn't it? And like you take people on for like ethics and hierarchies, and you've sort of dabbled in that area, so you kind of understand their perspective as well when it comes to things. Whereas if you hadn't done that in the past, and you might find it slightly difficult to relate to them, which is always good. It's always a really good feature as a coach. Like you wouldn't hire someone to teach you how to swim if they didn't know how to swim themselves. So again, for us, it's like the enjoyment of competing, but at the same time being able to relate to clients and say like, look, the food plan isn't the most exciting thing in the world, but think about the long-term effect and the process. And eventually you'll be able to establish really good habits like, we have with dieting and the benefits, and you'll see the positives more than you see the negative at the moment. So it is definitely, I don't want to say like ammunition, but it kind of is ammunition in a way. If people come say, if people say to us like, "Oh, it's really hard," it's like, we know it's hard. We do it every day too, but we need to get on with it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I had a. Oh no,
Sorry,
carry
bro.
on, carry on.
I was gonna say you can vouch for the fact that some days we even sit in the office and we have like mad days of work where we're doing a lot, and neither of us are motivated to train at all. Because if you think like for the guys that are listening in on this, okay, it's hard to go to the gym sometimes. But imagine if you were at work, okay, and someone said to you at the end of your day, and you've just done a long slog all day in your office, someone went, by the way, do you want to just for fun, just spend another 2 hours here? You'd be like, no, I want to go home. And
Mm,
sometimes for us, our gym is our workplace too. So it's actually harder to motivate ourselves to get in the gym on those days where motivation is low, but we still do anyway because we understand that we have to. And
mm,
it's not easy. It's 100% really fucking hard, man. Like I'm not going to lie and say that on those days I wouldn't prefer to be at home watching a film, chilling with my dog, chilling with Maddie. But I know that ultimately the outcome that I want is not off the back of doing those things. I can still do those things. I just have to delay that a little bit. And I do believe delayed gratification is definitely something that people should get better at, because most things in life will never be immediate. The things that are worthwhile will never be immediate. They will have to be something you have to work for long term, for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, for me, 10 years in this industry. And you have to delay that gratification because then one day when it happens, you appreciate it that a little bit more. If it was
mm.
immediate, you wouldn't appreciate it as much. So,
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can definitely vouch for that. 100%. 100%. Also, I don't know about you, but being on plan has actually made me smarter about eating, even when not on plan. There was like a period of time where I came off coaching with you, and I was like, I feel lost now because I hadn't given myself that time to actually acknowledge what I was eating and why I was eating it. And then came off of coaching again for a really short period of time after we did. I think we were training for High Rocks, and I was like, look, this is just not for me. Um, and then leading up to me starting Classic, I was kind of like a bit more wary as what I was eating. I was kind of like, yeah, I know why I'm eating this now. So it is really good. Meal prepping is really good. And for those that want to get to a desired look, at the end of that, you'll have the exact same attitude. You'll have a way, in my opinion anyway, obviously it's very personal, but you'll have a way better relationship and connection with food because you'll understand the benefits that it gives you. And yes, when you're on plan, there's an element of restriction, but you understand why and what the outcome of that restriction is. So yeah, the
100%.
positive definitely outweighs the negative 100% all the way.
Yeah, I completely agree. So, next one is what separates the members who actually progress at Tribe from the ones who plateau all the time? And I feel like for me, going on the subject that we just spoke about there, it's
Mm,
turning up on the days where you don't feel like it and still getting your stuff done and tracking your shit down, making sure you're aware of what you're doing and communication. So the three biggest ones are turning up without motivation and just coming in here anyway. Just let the coaches do the motivating for you. Let them tell you what to do and they'll sort you out. Come in and let
mm,
them know where your weights were the previous weeks. That's so much easier. Yeah, because again, change happens as you get stronger and as you get better at certain things. And we need to know exactly what you did the previous week. So we can go, okay, cool. I'm going to watch you on your set. If we got 3 sets, I'm going to watch you on your second set. I'm going to tell you whether or not to stick with the same weight what you lifted last week and go for an additional rep, or I'm going to tell you to go a little bit heavier. And the last one is just literally, again, just making sure that you communicate with the coaches. Yeah, communicate with us all the time. But my biggest changes with clients are the ones that talk to me 24/7. If I even had a lady in here yesterday, Sonia. She's lovely, and she was like, "I sometimes just don't want to message you because I don't want to burden you." I'm like, "No, no, no, you don't understand. If I'm sat here and I'm getting no communication from someone, they feel like they're being the best client in the world because they're like, I'm just cracking on. I only need to speak to Lewis once a week. It's fine." But for me, I'm like, I don't know where they're at because even I would have questions. I have a coach and I message him twice, 3 times between check-ins, being like, "Hey, bro, like, what about this or what about that?" And if you're on it, you should have questions and you should talk to me. You should talk to us as coaches. You should say, "Look, man, like I'm really struggling. What bit of advice would you give here? Hey, like this exercise didn't feel too great, or I'm just really struggling with meal prep. What would you suggest?" And literally, for me, it makes me happier to be able to be more involved. And ultimately, any situation that pops up, and this is a big thing as well, is when people have a hurdle, and you will inevitably encounter hurdles, and that's something that I need to get across to people as well. In your journey, you will hit a hurdle at some point, multiple hurdles, where you don't want to meal prep, you're not hungry, really, you've missed a training session because you've been poorly or something like that. And it's derailed your mindset. And it's as simple as messaging the coach and say, "Hey, I missed my training session yesterday. I really feel shit about it." For me, I know because I've been there, having a simple message back from a coach saying, "That makes literally no difference. Just carry on. Just skip that session. Just continue on from your Friday session. You're fine." And because you've been given that direct message from a coach saying, "It will not affect your progress. Keep pressing on forwards," all of a sudden that downwards negative momentum is shifted into an upwards momentum. And now you're back on it again. Whereas if you don't speak and you let that negative momentum seep in and we start to go back downhill, old habits creep back in. Oh, because I missed one session, I might as well miss the next one, and so on and so forth. It starts to fucking roll. So communicate. Yeah. So again, turn up when you're not motivated, track your lifts and let the coaches know what you lifted before. And so we can progress and communicate. Those are my main three.
There's one gym member in particular that I love seeing on a PT session. Absolutely love it. And it's one of your clients, it's Claire. I absolutely love seeing Claire on a session because she is so I don't want to say old fashioned, but it is like very old fashioned the way that she records all her stuff. Because you'll see her with her little notepad and she'll write all of her measurements in. And I'm like, that is like being specific to a T, like literally jotting everything down. And this notepad is full. Like it is absolutely rammed.
If you ask
It's
her,
brilliant.
she's great. If you ask her and you say like, "Look, like, because it's very easy to spin it off as like, "Oh man, like I'm dedicated, this, that, and the other." Claire's so funny because I will pitch her like that. I'll say like, "Look, Claire's ideal. She comes in, she knows exactly what she's doing. She's not gonna do more than what she needs, and she's gonna go home." Yeah, she's that dedicated,
Mm.
disciplined. And then Claire will be like, "I just don't want to do anything else. I just want to just do what I need to do, and then I could go home." And I'm like,
Yeah, it's
"No, no, no,
brilliant.
no,
It's
no, no, leave,
brilliant.
leave in, leave in." I love
It's
it though.
great.
And
It is
ultimately, her
great.
progress, bro, has gone from like a 50-kilo deadlift, like max 60 to
Mm.
135. Like,
Client,
how, dude?
yeah.
Like, it's
Cli
insane progress, mad discipline.
Clients that just do what they're told, mate. Honestly, it's brilliant.
Yeah. But equally, then you got those people that are stuck, right?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
go, "You need to take some rest." And they go, "Yeah, well, I kind of, I'm already doing this session. I'm going to do that one. I've already booked onto that one. I've got this run on a weekend. I've got this thing to do as well." And you're like, "Okay, so we're not going to rest. That's fine. We can continue doing this." But progress now becomes a bit like a gamble. It's a bit more less assured. Whereas Claire's like, "We know that we'll get our 1 rep max. That's going to be a thing because we've already prepped exactly how we need to. You've rested enough, you've trained enough. We've got that in the bag. I know we do." And she always comes in and she gets it. Whereas with those people that like to do more, it's like now what you're doing is you're fatiguing your body, which now
Mm.
means it's a 50-50 chance of whether we do or whether we don't. So would you like the reliability of knowing that you're going to turn up next week and get it? Or do you want to do a bit more this week than what you should do and then put that down to chance? It's up to you. But I can tell you from personal experience, putting it down to chance, it doesn't always go your way. And most of the time it doesn't go your way. Yeah. So
Mm.
I would even say the scales tilt on like 60%, you probably won't get it, 40% you will,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. 100%. We love it.
And next one's about blood work. So why your blood work matters more than your scale weight. Give us a rundown, Jake.
It's like the engine doesn't run well with bad oil, does it? And a lot of people don't really notice it as much or acknowledge that as much. They sort of go off of like general feeling. Um, Whereas like imagine the amount of improvement that you could make if you knew every single variable. to do with A, yes, how you're feeling, but also like what's actually going on inside. And there's definitely a lot of people, because I was one of them that have absolutely no knowledge of it. And then when they sort of understand like blood work and what it means and what it can, tell you about your body, they're kind of like, oh, that makes sense now. That makes a lot of sense. That's probably why I'm feeling like this. And then they get their blood work done, and then they're like, oh shit, like my testosterone's really low. Um, or for ladies, like, oh, my hormone function just isn't working properly. So blood work is like key. And for the people doing like transformations, definitely, like, how long would you say to do it? Like how many times would you say or suggest to do it with a gap between?
I think if you're a natural person, then you should do it like once a year, like a full blood panel.
Mm,
If you're not, then you should be doing it once every 16 to 20 weeks at
mm,
least. Um,
yeah.
needs to be done regularly. And I think, if you start to if you really think about it logically, one that applies to everybody is blood glucose is really important. How your body actually utilizes carbohydrates, and can it convert those carbohydrates into energy, or is it just going to sit there and not be converted? And ultimately, you're not optimized for fat loss. You're actually optimized for fat storage. So again, downstream, if your blood glucose is not good, then you're looking at type 2 diabetes, which is not good for your overall health. And going back to what you said there about the oil, and your car's not going to work. Absolutely. I mean, listen, if you're not healthy, you ain't going to get a positive outcome with your physique. Period. It doesn't matter how much you're training, how optimal you're doing stuff. You're not gonna look good. You're gonna look bad, right? So you need to make sure things are aligned. And thinking about how these hormones, like you just mentioned, testosterone and estrogen, for women, estrogen, there seems to be this link for women is like, oh, it's just makes me feel good, yeah, and that's one part of estrogen. But guys have estrogen too, like we have estrogen as well. And the reason for estrogen is to actually lubricate the joints. Like we actually need estrogen for joint health for guys. And if we crash our estrogen, as you know, with competitive bodybuilders, sometimes they take anti-estrogens because it just makes them that little bit drier. Because when you have no estrogen as a guy, you just get really fucking you can't store any water. So what tends to happen is all the muscles go really tight and really stiff, and you literally are so injury prone, and you get so many muscle tears and things like that. So yeah, like for a joint health perspective, you need estrogen. As a female, you need it for overall well-being and joint health. And if our main goal is to progressively overload and get stronger, how are you going to get stronger if your joints aren't good, man? They're actively deteriorating. Like you're on by time. So
Yeah.
that's going to negatively affect you and the process. And for guys as well, testosterone, ultimately the benefit of us having testosterone is by training, we can put on more muscle tissue in our upper body. We can put on more muscle than women can. Um, and the more muscle that we have, the more energy that requires. So therefore, I'm not saying that you have to look like a bodybuilder, you have to look like Arnie, but you want to gain a little bit of muscle tissue, each week, each month, because ultimately the more muscle you have, the more you can kind of either push a deficit, so you can pull more body fat off without having to reduce calories, or maintain being lean in your normal life, because ultimately it's going to be really hard if your basal metabolic rate now is 3,500 calories for the level of muscle that you carry in your body. It's pretty fucking hard to consistently be above 3,500 calories when you've got healthy habits built in. You're probably, when, like for me, when I go on holiday to America, people are like, what the hell, you're like 11 pounds lighter. Yeah, because my maintenance is 4,000 calories, bro. Like, I won't actively eat that unless I'm on a mission to eat it. Even if I went to, you know, I don't know, no, what's it called? What's the Rock Cafe?
No,
Hard Rock
Hot Rock.
Cafe.
Hard Rock, that's it.
If I went to Hard Rock, right, one of their meals, like me and Manny will go there for lunch or something. Yeah, one of the meals is 1,200 calories, right? That is literally 20 less than 25% of my total calories for the day. I'm not going to do that 4 times. I'm just not. So like ultimately, it's really hard for me to gain weight. It's really hard for me to put on body fat. I just get leaner. So I think you need testosterone to be able to put on the muscle tissue that will allow you to do those things. So if you go on a holiday, you won't get fat. So
Mm,
yeah, it's optimizing that too. So all these things, blood work, and let's not fucking bullshit around the point as well, Jake. The main thing is health as well and longevity. Like you
100%,
just
yeah.
it's great to look good, man, but if you're going to look good for a very short period of time, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, what's the
I'm
point?
gonna lie.
Literally.
You know,
Yeah.
you're taking years off your life. So get your blood work done, man. Make sure things are in line and just make sure your health is at the forefront of everything.
For anyone that wants a bit more sort of not necessarily in depth, but like a look as to how it goes, we did a really good sort of like two-part series on your Instagram account where we went and visited Christian down at Your Blood, and he gave us really good insight as to the markers. Asked him loads of questions. Like, I think we had like 10, 15 minutes worth of footage, and I was like, fuck, how are we going to get this down into a minute and a half video? This is great. But yeah, really good insight as to not only the markers, but also how he does a blood test, because a lot of people obviously have this fear of needles. Dude, like, it's in, it's out, it's done. Like, just like that.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing to worry about. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
really,
man.
really, really in-depth video we did there. So go and check that out.
Yeah, man. It's on my IG if anybody wants to go have a look at that.
Yeah, have
Uh,
a look, see.
it's also on the Your Blood page, I think. Your Blood. If you type in Your Blood, it will come up. And you can always get your bloods done through there.
Yeah.
Next one, then, I feel like this is one that I've had a load of questions on IG, bro, about GLP-1s this week. GLP-1s have been like top talking point because everybody's now using them, right? And the reason why I've included it inside of today's podcast is because a lot of people have a misguided view on how they should be used. And I would even say that doctors are not helping the scenario at all with any of it. And
Mm.
it is shit. It is really bad because when you know how it works, you're like, brother, what are we doing? Like, how are doctors prescribing this at this level? Like, what are we doing? And the thing I wanted to kind of really majorly get across here, and it's something that I'm super passionate about, is that GLP-1s are not evil. They're actually very good and really useful. Yeah. But only when applied in the right way at minimal amounts. And the thing that gets people now is that they rely on GLP-1s to restrict themselves to lose weight. You get people on GLP-1s, they'll take 2.5 milligrams as a starting dosage, 3, 5 in some cases, which is fucking crazy. And there's already data that shows that 0.5 milligrams will have an appetite suppressant effect. So why are we taking, what is it, 4.5 times that, 5 times that already to start with? Anyway, but the reason why you take these things is to allow you to stick to your diet that allows you to achieve fat loss. It's not so you can just not eat. If you do not eat as as a human being, you are going to die because we require energy to move and to function. So if you are utilizing these things as a crutch to just not eat, number one, really bad for your health. Number two, unsustainable as fuck. And number three, the outcome you're going to get is your scale weight will go down, but your body shape will not change. Your body shape will stay the same. Yeah, you are literally going to end up a smaller version of yourself. That's literally it because your muscle will go, your bone density will go, and you will look like shit because you'll just lose it in your face. You'll look really gaunt, but you'll still have the gut that you're really worried about. You still have the love handles. You'll now have no bum. If you're a guy, you'll have no muscle tissue. You won't fill out shirts. Sure, you won't be as heavy, but you'll still have the same appearance. So it's like, why would you do it? So use these things to allow you to stick to a diet that allows you to achieve about a kilo of weight loss per week maximum. And that will be, if you're weight training and if you're dieting correctly, will be the upper tier level of fat loss that you can achieve. Anything above and beyond that, we're looking at muscle loss, we're looking at bone density loss.
Yeah. I was going to say the people that are doing it right are the ones that are, yeah, consistently training, acknowledging sort of like protein definitely is like a massive thing to focus on, and also, yeah, just staying consistent with dieting. And I've because I had this conversation with my mum actually, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I know some people that are on it," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. How are they getting on? Like, are they sort of like happier now in their cells?" And she was like, "Well, no, because they're sort of like ignoring those variables about like, and obviously these are slightly older people because it's, my mum's age range, but like they're not really moving. They're still not necessarily eating correctly for their body specifically, and therefore they're not seeing the results that are obviously intended with these GLP-1s, and because of that, their dose is going up because, again, they think that more is better. And it's like, no, not necessarily. Again, like I said, the people that are doing it really well are the ones that are on consistently training and are following a diet plan. That's
Yeah, absolutely. And also in terms of like dosaging as well, right? Some people have an emotional connection with food. They do. They use food as a stress relief. Okay, and that's a bad relationship with food. Let's not glamorize that as being good because it's not. It's what it is. It's masking a problem. Yeah, it's a coping mechanism, right? The best case scenario, and I think for everybody, we'd all love it if we could just address situations head on, right? Because we get them resolved ASAP, right? But the human brain doesn't work like that. If you have an emotional connection with food, then utilizing GLP-1s at simple 0.5 milligrams per week to 1 milligram max will allow you to eat your diet but feel full at the end of your meals, and you won't want to go for the cupboard. And that's enough to be able to disassociate food from that emotional connection. And I've worked with clients before on GLP-1s that have done it through me rather than the doctors, right? Used a tiny amount. And one of the ladies finished it. And I was like, look, we don't need it anymore. We're there. We're done. And she maintained her weight really, really well. She came into the gym one day and she went, I'm not taking it anymore, but I'm not hungry anymore for like snacking and stuff. I'm like, yeah, because you've realized now you've utilized GLP-1s to break the emotional connection with food. So now you've just learned to deal with it in a different way, which for her is journaling and dealing with things head on. So now there's no emotional connection. So when she feels down, her response is not in her brain, let's quickly go to the cupboard because that'll make me feel better. It's, I'm just going to crack on and get this stuff sorted because the faster I get this sorted, the faster I feel better, and it won't happen again. So that's how GLP-1s can be used well, and it ultimately will allow you to remain healthy. And I don't think they're bad, especially from an emotional standpoint. I think it can really help people as a helping hand to get over emotional eating, but only when used right. If you're taking an amount that literally stops you from eating because you feel sick, you are overdosing. If me and you were to go out, Jake, and we were to take a pill, for example, right? And like I've never done it before, nor have you. We're not those type of people. But if we were to do that, and then we started feeling lightheaded, sick, and not ourselves, and we needed to go home because our stomach was fucking up, we'd probably call 111 and say, I'm not feeling too great. And they'd take us to the RUH, and we'd probably get told we had an overdose of some kind. Right. So why are we normalizing? Why are we normalizing this? Like, why are we normalizing feeling sick? Why are we normalizing the lightheaded feeling? Why are we normalizing anemia? Because people aren't eating and they're having like no iron in their diet now. So now they're just tired 24/7. Why are we normalizing the fact that people's bone density is going down because they're no longer eating and therefore their joints are taking way more pressure than they should have because the muscle tissue is no longer there? Like, we're just going like, oh, it's just Manjaro though, innit? No, no, it's not. And I know people are stuck on the visuals, and it's like, well, Manjaro bum. On a deeper level, you now have no glutes, and glutes are there to support your lower back. They are there to support your lower back, and they're there to help you with any hip hinge movements. You no longer have those. So you do, but they're tiny. They're not going to support shit. So now we're at a higher risk, right? We're at a fucking risk factor that was down here. Now it's up here. So now we got to deal with that. That's another thing we got to deal with. And it sucks, man, because if it was used and approached in the right way, the way the doctor should do it is they should get someone and go like, here's a diet plan to start with. I'd like you to follow this for 2 weeks. Let's see whether we achieve weight loss without Manjaro. And then if someone comes back in and goes, I'm following it, but I keep snacking. Yeah, I can't quite get on board with it. Okay, cool. Now we'll use 0.5 milligrams of Manjaro, the tiniest amount. Let me know if that helps. Then you have a phone call in a week. Did it help? Not really. I'm still snacking. Okay, let's up it to 1 milligram and let's see how that helps. Call back after another week. It's helping now. Brilliant. Stay there. Don't take any more. Don't take any less. You give me a call if the cravings kick back in, right? And then just allow them to stick to that diet and just let them lose the weight, right? And advocate them to go to the gym. And all of a sudden, they won't lose 20 pounds and then gain 30 back when they come off it. They'll lose 40 pounds and then keep the 40 pounds off. And the last thing I want to touch on, because I keep forgetting to touch on it as well, the way the GLP-1s work is they slow down the digestive tract as well. So if you have IBS, it's going to get way worse. Yeah, because the whole idea is it slows down the digestive tract to allow you to feel fuller for longer. And if you already have stomach issues, if you're slowing that process down even more, good luck. That's not going to feel great. Yeah, and that's something that people don't take into account as well. And that's where people get severe stomach pain, stomach cramps. They can't go to the toilet. Like, they are so constipated, they don't even want to move out of their bed. Now, the negative thing is now you're not moving at all. So, like, there is literally zero muscle retention going on. There's no stimulus at all. So, yeah, that's my little bit on it.
Given the fact that they are GLP-1s, obviously implies that there are multiple different ones that you can take. I mean, you've got, and we've spoken about this in the office before, you've got the likes of Ozempic, you've got Mounjaro, you've got, what else have you got, Lewis? You've got ones that
retatrutide.
And there's one that begins with a T, and then there's...
Is it tirzepatide?
Yeah, something like that. I think so. And then you've got, is it semaglutide as well?
Semaglutide is Mounjaro.
Now, I'm obviously, from someone that isn't necessarily as well educated, I'm assuming that all of these don't, they're different compounds, hence the different name. So therefore, they have a different dose that needs to be given to people. I like, because I'm sure that the same dose of Mounjaro is not necessarily going to give you the same effect if it was the same dose of Ozempic. So like 0.5 of Mounjaro is going to be different to 0.5 of Ozempic.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like how I imply it anyway.
I think the mechanisms of a GLP-1 are very similar. I know there are differences, and obviously I'm not educated enough to know the difference between like a tirzepatide or like a semaglutide and things like that. I just know how a GLP-1 works inside of the body as an effect. And I suppose it's a bit like for guys with like testosterone enanthate, testosterone propionate, like they have like shorter esters, longer esters, some build up, some take a little bit longer to build up, some act immediately. It really depends, I suppose, on frequency and potentially what works well with the individual, I suppose.
Yeah. So, because I mean, there have been cases of, and I said this to you in the gym the other day, there have been cases where people are on like 50 milligrams of Mounjaro a week, which I think I will agree in the sense of like, that is probably way too much, like way too much. And then you've got people that may sort of like start on maybe slightly higher than what you might consider as like the normal dose. But again, like you mentioned there, it's kind of all individual in the sense of what works for you works for you.
But I would always say it's the same way that we would approach gear use, right? Minimal effective dose, titrate up from that, not like start with everything but the kitchen fucking sink and let's start there and then we can only go up from already something that's very high. And that's my one major issue is I wish that they would start with smaller amounts. And I like, there's this other part of me that's like, maybe it's to do with money and they want people to run out their pens faster so they can buy more. And like, I suppose the only negative, there's not really any severe negative to taking a boatload of semaglutide, I suppose, maybe. I don't know what like extreme overdose would be and what it would do to the body. But ultimately, I there's this side of me, it's like it's marketing as well. Like Superdrug can sell these things and they make a profit off of it. So are they just trying to get you through the pen faster? So you have to spend another 150 or 80 quid or whatever it may be to buy another one faster so you make more money out of you? There is that side of things.
I said this to you the other week on the podcast. No, not on the podcast, in the office. I said that there was a documentary that came out on Netflix literally called Ozempic. And in the documentary itself, it basically said what you said there, that like there is such a mass production in these like GLP-1s now because of like the benefits, yes, but I kind of it wouldn't surprise me if what you said is true, the fact that like, how do we know that the dose in the pen is actually the dose, are they essentially trying to get, like you said, people's money? The pharmaceutical industry is it is the biggest industry in the world. So it is the most profitable industry ever, and it always will be.
I think something that I'm happy to share on here as well is obviously I grab my testosterone and bits from an underground lab. I don't go through a pharmaceutical company at all for that sort of stuff, for performance enhancing drugs and steroids and things like that. There are underground labs that do their own studies, send their own products off to get studied to make sure it is what it is. So you can get private lab results done. And I have a few clients that are on TRT that go through hormone replacement therapy clinics. And these people have messaged me and been like, just out of curiosity, how much do you pay per month for your testosterone? And I would reply with, if I was at your dose, how much would it be? Is that what you're asking? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, how much are you paying? And they were like, well, about £185 a month. And for me, the thing that put that in perspective is I will pay £12.50, if that, for the same. And I get my blood work done. So you got to take that as, if I can grab it for that much, how much profit are they selling it for? And how much profit are they making? You know, and the thing that sucks for me is the ethics behind it. It's like, these people need this stuff to be able to live longer, be better. It helps them. And there's such a massive profit margin on it that ultimately 185 quid, man, not many people can fucking spend that per month. Like, you know, that's a high enough value for most people. I think the majority of people to go, I can't afford that. That's a lot of money per year, you know. So sucks that it's that way, you know, over £1,000 a year on something that could be as little as 150 quid a year. It's really shit, you know.
It is, but I think, unfortunately, mate, that is the way of business.
Now, the way of business is making profit that's in most cases, like, logical profit. You know, like, again, if our coaching value is really high, and let's say, for example, we're solving a problem that would cause someone to spend thousands over years, and we could solve that for 500, 600 quid in 3 months, I get it. Yeah, 100%. I can understand why you would charge that much. But when it's like a product that delivers a specific value, and all the products, like testosterone is all testosterone. It's all just different derivatives of testosterone, right? Like a fucking 100 and something percent markup, bro, that's like insane. And you're not fucking around with people's money just for like to self betterment. It's like healthcare, you know, that's fucking healthcare, bro. You're literally fucking around with people's health, man, to try and make more money. That's shit. That's awful. That's a really shitty thing to do. I don't care who says it. And you know, especially when you know how much it actually costs. And the biggest eye opener for me was when my parents went to Thailand and my dad had a chest infection. And in Thailand, bro, like, fucking hell, like, you know, people go to Thailand for surgery, and I never really looked into it until my dad had a chest infection in the hotel, and he was really bad. Like, my dad had pneumonia when he was a kid, and he went down to reception. He was like, I can't breathe. I'm struggling to breathe and I need some antibiotics. I've had this before and it's really bad. They called an ambulance. Within like 5 minutes, it turns up, takes him off to a hospital. He gets seen within 5 minutes. They do a full chest scan on him, right? And they do, I think, 2 or 3. And they come to the conclusion that he does indeed need antibiotics. So he gets given these antibiotics, and he gets given a CD, a disc with his x-rays on. Yeah. And my mum sat there going, oh no, man, like, how much is this going to cost? Like, fucking hell. I don't think they even had travel insurance or whatever. And do you know how much it cost my dad for all of
that? I could either lowball it or highball it. I'm going to sell it at 50 quid.
No, it's £17.50, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Mental,
yeah, it's just fucking wild.
Did that through private healthcare here.
Just goes.
I think. Who was I talking to the other day? I think a private MRI scan's like 400 quid. I think I was talking to one of my PT clients the other day, and she was like, "Yeah, he paid like 450 quid," and I was like, "Hey,
what the fuck?
The fuck?
Yeah.
Mental."
So yeah, I think the one that does have a lot of promise though on the GLP side is in the next year or two, you're going to see retatrutide pop up. I'd say as soon as you can, hop off of Manjaro, get on retatrutide. That's a GLP-3. I think it's GLP-3 or GLP-2.
GLP-3.
Yeah, and The good thing about the GLP-3 is that, like, basically with GLP-3, it's actually got properties that support muscle retention. It's appetite suppressive like Manjaro, but not to the point where like you can't physically function. Like, it is good enough to stop you from eating, but it's never going to make you feel like super sick or anything like that. And the third one is it lowers inflammation as well, which is great. So it's got all the positive effects of Manjaro, but with even more positives, without the negatives. So I think that will pop up. I think it baffles me with England paying for even medications. Yeah, I do think that, especially because we all pay for our national, our NHS, and fucking our taxes go every single month for everything, and then we have to pay additional on top of that. It's mad. It is madness. It really pisses me off, man.
It's it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to say as well, I just want to point out the fact that obviously myself and Lewis, neither of us are sort of like medical professionals in a sense, but obviously there is an element of research that we have to do in order to provide a level of knowledge to clients that speak about testosterone, GLP-1s, etc. So we are
in Ireland, we don't pay for our medication. So in pharmaceuticals, you won't pay for your meds.
Holy shit.
Well, more you know. I didn't even know that.
Fucking hell, I thought you were looking at me concerned because I said, but we're not professional medical
No. I am a doctor, clarification. No, bro. No. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, no.
That's wild. Crazy. Obviously we have to pay a prescription fee. Yeah, like prescription fee is what, like, it's been so long since I've had a prescription, bro. Like, what is a prescription fee? Like 15 quid?
I don't know. I can't believe
that. Do you have to pay for your prescriptions? Do you have to pay for that? Or is that covered as well? Because if it's covered, ta-da, the more you know with Georgia. Absolutely. Dude, low-key, if I don't have to pay for prescriptions, I'm moving to Ireland, bro.
Yeah, we're off. We're jumping ship.
Tribe. Moving to Ireland. No, none of that. They don't pay for prescriptions, dude. What the fuck, man? There you go.
It's crazy.
There you go. So, guys, if you need free medication,
yes, literally just about to say,
hop the border.
We're contacting you with what to bring back from your holidays.
Yeah, can you go and say you've got weight loss issues, chest infection, chronic migraines, you've got sleep problems as well. We want as much meds as we possibly can.
Yes.
But any scenario. Georgia, if you can just set us up for the next 10 years, we'll be fine, bro.
Tribe pharmacy. It's coming. It's coming.
100%. No, that's where we run into illegal territory, bro. We're not going to go down that route.
Shit. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, my days. Yeah, dude.
Anyway.
No, you are right. We're not healthcare professionals, but I think sometimes, bro, like we've spoken about this before. Got Milo's fluff on my beard. We've spoken about this before. Dude, I don't blame doctors, dude. I don't blame doctors at all. I think doctors are great. I'm gonna get rid of Milo's hair because it is literally just hanging. There we go. I think doctors are great, but they've got so much to look for. They can't be educated at everything. It's impossible. I mean, I've worked with Rosie. Rosie's an amazing doctor, dude, but she jumped on plan with me and she was like, I don't know anything about diet. Like, I know nothing, dude. Like, I have had the basic training, which is 3 meals a day. Make sure you have your 5 a day. Here's protein, here's carbs, here's fats. It's literally it. They don't know the ins and outs, and nor should they really, because ultimately that's what dietitians are for. But they're looking for more severe stuff, things that are going to immediately affect you, things that are going to kill you, So ultimately, there's so many things that can go on in the body. They've got to search for all of those. So it's not on their priority list. But the thing that bothers me, though, is the doctors that pretend they know everything because of an ego thing. Whereas I had a lot of respect for Rosie, and I thought she was a fantastic doctor because she was open about what she did know and open about what she didn't. And I love that because that's like I can just talk to you like a normal human being. And sometimes she wouldn't know. And she'd go, you know what? I'm going to go away. I'm going to do some research. I'll let you know. Cool. Perfect. I'm cool with that. Like, absolutely. You've got access as a doctor to so many things that I don't have access to. I'd love to learn from you. Like, tell me what you find. It's an ego thing, bro. It's always an ego thing. So yeah, we're not medical professionals by any regards, but just make sure that when you get given information, you're given the information from a standpoint of let them actually explain what's going on, and can they advocate it, and are they just giving you shit to give you shit, or are they to get you out of the room, or are they giving you shit and explaining what's going on and what's happening and what they've had with experience with that thing, with GLP-1s especially? Are they just giving you 2.5 milligrams? They're saying, well, most people respond to this, so that's fine. Or is it actually, I'd like to start you off a little bit lighter because I know you have digestive issues, and I'm very mindful of that. I want to be cautious. So I'm not saying don't listen to any doctors. I just think be forwards thinking and ask the right questions.
Also, Google's free. Google is free. There are plenty
It's the fucking worst thing you could do, dude.
Well, not necessarily Google itself, but there are plenty of records out there that give evidence and plenty of information as well.
PubMed is good, guys. It's a website. You can see medical studies on GLP-1s. If you type in PubMed, they have literally every study done for everything, and you can read them all and look at them all and see the outcome of the studies. There's another thing that you got to be very mindful of as well, is actually how the studies are done, because sometimes they have like the outcome was this, and it's like conclusion, GLP-1s are the best thing in the world, and you're like, okay, cool, but it was studied on 2 people, so it's like there's 2 people. Look for the studies that they've got all the data from 10,000 studies done. Do you know what I mean? On 10,000 people from all different walks of life. Brilliant. Perfect. Your database of information is massive, not just 2 people. If I took Obi and Shay and said, if we do bicep curls, you should expect 8 pounds of muscle growth in the first 3 weeks. It's like, well, Obi and Shay are very genetic anomaly people, yeah. So it wouldn't be the same for everybody. Whereas if that study was done, if there was study was done on 10,000 people, you get a more accurate view.
Yeah, definitely.
Take an average.
Yeah.
So just be mindful.
Yeah. Good way to finish off that topic, mate.
Yeah, man. Mindful. Yeah. Cool. Well, guys, we are going to finish it there. Hopefully you took a lot of information from today. Fingers crossed. And yeah, if you get confused with anything, you can always DM us. Again, like Jake said, we're not going to pretend to be healthcare professionals. I always sit with my clients to be like, this is a conversation you should have with your doctor. However, there is advice that we could give based off of experience of working with a lot of people. Yeah, and that's advice. It's just own personal experience. And then you can take that on board if you want to. But equally, with most people that I work with on GLP-1s, I'm like, the best thing you do is be open with your doctor anyway. Same with the guys that are on steroids. Yeah, they'll go like, I'm going to go to the doctor. So I'm like, cool, just tell them you're on steroids, because ultimately they don't control you. But if you tell them what's going on, they can at least manage it well. Right. So just be honest with your doctor, talk to your GP, talk to your professional, and we can give you some advice on how you should approach that. Right. So, but yeah, be mindful of the shit you're doing. Be careful. And hopefully you took a lot of information and a lot of valuable knowledge from today's podcast.
100%. Yeah, definitely. We're also very open-minded to doing research ourselves as well. So any questions that we can't answer, we'll always go away and sort of figure out what is the best information or what is the sort of more advisable information. So don't be afraid to ask questions if you think that we don't know the answer, because if we don't, we'll just find out. Nothing stopping us. So yeah.
We've actually got our own version, Trowbridge's own version of RIP, rest in peace, Stephen Hawking, in a cupboard downstairs that we like to refer to for information sometimes. Isn't that right, Jake?
Yeah, that's right.
So if there's anything that we don't know, we'll know about it. we'll know about it. Yeah, we'll get him out and then he'll tell us. I know where I'm going with that, bro. Like, being honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think Stephen Hawking, given recent events, is probably the best person to bring up. Maybe like a Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Why? What's going on with Stephen Hawking, bro?
The list, bro. He was on the list.
Do you? Okay, right, yeah, right. Do you genuinely think he was, given the state of his body and everything? Do you think he was going to the island for that reason? I'm gonna keep it very honest here, bro. I'm not gonna bullshit around the point.
Can we please bring up the Bad Friends podcast where the guy imitates Stephen Hawking and what he would have been like on the island?
Yeah, we're not going to go. We're going to go ahead and not do that. But
Okay.
Right,
we've taken a down spiral.
Yeah, we have indeed. This is a conversation we need to have off camera. All right, cool. Right, nice one, guys. Have an awesome rest of your evening. If you have any questions or anything like that, fire us over DM either Jake or myself. We'll answer them ASAP. Again, I hope you took loads of information from today, and tune in on Monday morning when we do the Monday Morning Motivation Podcast, where we'll give you a kickstart for the week and get you going and answer any of your questions that you have, meal prep, etc. All right, so have a good one and much love.
100%. Have a lovely rest of your week, guys. See you.